You're watching Fantasy Studs and Suds, only on Fantasy Now Plus.
Good afternoon and welcome everybody to episode 15 of Fantasy Studs and Suds. I am the Fantasy Nobody, Jeffrey Crisp, and alongside of me is not my co-host, CJ Pudgel-Page. We are introducing right now our special guest, Andrew Hall from Fantasy Pros. We are really apologetic that we are not coming to you at 3 p.m. Pudge and I both did very well in the poker tournament. I busted out. Pudge is literally still one of the final 10. He's in the final table. You didn't see the final table, so he's made the final table, so we really apologize for being late. But that gives us more time to talk with Andrew here. I just want to talk about the fact that this episode is not going to be like our other episodes. The segments that we have that we usually provide are not going to be provided today. We're going to talk a little bit about the Fantasy Football Expo. We're going to talk with our guests. I know we had planned on having Amber Phillips along with us. I don't know that she's going to be able to join us now after this late delay, but we have Andrew. And Andrew is everybody's favorite guest. So with that said, we are going to talk studs and suds. And around here at the Fantasy Football Expo, there are a lot of people who are studs. There's a lot of fantasy experts. There are a lot of analysts. Andrew is definitely one of the studs in the fantasy realm. I'm a stud. And whatever Andrew says, he's one of the studs. Everybody loves him around here. I've seen him at the different Scott Fishbowl Lives. I've seen him at the Fantasy Football Expo. Everybody loves Andrew. And but right now, one of the things about our show is we like to talk about studs. And so we're going to usually wait till later in the show, but we're going to jump off right away. And I have a Columbus IPA, which has really been delicious. I'm not going to lie. I've had a few of them already today. And what do you got going on?
Well, I got a Truly, but I was going to say, speaking of, I was going to bring up for Suds, I am doing some a beer exchange with a bunch of people tomorrow in my trunk. And so I brought a bunch of beers. I don't have them with me here, but I got a Gleyer's Get Fest white ale. I'm excited to try tomorrow. It's from West Side Brewing down in Cincinnati. So I got a bunch of really specific beers that I plan on enjoying tomorrow afternoon. So that's where I'm going to be doing more Suds today.
See, I'm really looking forward to that. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm from Michigan, as all of you know, and Michigan has some phenomenal breweries.
Really do.
But I have to really admit that Cincinnati has some incredible breweries. I'm a huge street side brewery fan. I love street side, but there's some great breweries in Cincinnati. So if you've never been down here, if you make your way down here and hit some of those breweries, you will not be disappointed. I'm really, really excited about the Cincinnati area. There's other places in Ohio. Cleveland, there's Masthead. There's a couple others.
Columbus has a few too.
Columbus has a few too. But Cincinnati has just been, I have never been steered wrong by a Cincinnati brewery.
There's like 30 different breweries in Cincinnati. There's Rheingeist, 250 West, and Mad Tree, all these big ones. Yeah. But there's a ton of smaller ones too that I've been to that are just top notch. They do
well, and after the Scott Fishbowl Cincy draft, you sent me somewhere, and I don't remember the place. We were on this long
Main Strasse in Covington.
Yeah, I actually thought we were in Quebec by the time we actually got there.
That's fair.
But it was an incredible brewery. It was incredible. So if you get down to Cincinnati, you have to try those breweries. But right now we're in Canton, Ohio for the Fantasy Football Expo. And I just, I'm reading off my show sheet, so I apologize for that.
Great, guys.
And by the way, I'm just going to be as honest and frank as I can be. If I'm slurring a little bit, I apologize.
It's the Suds. You're doing your show. This is exactly the way it should be.
And it's the Fantasy Football Expo. That's exactly what you should be doing when you're here. This is my second year here. If you have not been here in the past, I highly recommend it. I can't even imagine myself never attending again.
This is my 5th year. I can't imagine not being here. This is so great.
That's a question I was going to ask you, but
I'm starting to get into it.
No, that's right. So we've already talked about the Suds, and let's talk about the poker tournament. So 54 people who have come here for the I think they said it was the 6th annual, or
I think it's the 4th annual.
4th annual. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it for correcting me. 4th annual Icebreaker poker tournament sponsored by the football guys. And there were 54 participants. We're down to the final table.
Final 7. Yeah.
Oh, we're now at 7. So apparently, my co-host Pudge is a lot better at poker. I've already told you this.
Yeah.
I gave him a lot of tips on the drive down here. Apparently, he took them to heart.
He listened.
He listened to the master, and now he's
going. He's going for the goal.
Now he has exceeded the master.
Good for him.
Yeah,
I can't be upset.
Yeah, no, I can't be upset either. But the poker tournament's excellent. This is how the Fantasy Football Expo unofficially starts every year.
Yeah,
and it's a great opportunity to meet people in the industry. It's an opportunity to just mingle and get to know people. And even if you're not a participant, Andrew you didn't play.
I didn't
right?
play at all. No, I just was here to attend.
Yeah.
Poker's not my thing. But I mean, I played one year. It wasn't great for me. But I had much more fun just hanging out and talking to everybody. Scott Fish is here, right? You got Russ Fisher from the Trade Addicts. You got Zach from Test Assassin, Zach Reed from Dynasty Dummies. Just a bunch of good people that are just hanging out and chatting fantasy. And like you said, it's the unofficial start of the whole weekend, and it just feels right to have everybody in a room together, talking about fantasy football in August. It's nothing better.
Yeah, I did this last year, and I was really excited about the entire event, except for the fact that Andrew and my co-host, who was not here, made me do the ice challenge.
Yeah, we iced you.
You iced me,
that was great.
And it was. I'm not an ice fan, but I did it.
Nobody is.
No. Nobody?
Fantasy nobody is.
Fantasy nobody. The fantasy nobody was definitely into it last year, and I regretted it immediately. But
that's okay.
Yeah. This is an excellent experience. Last year I busted out early, but it was really fun.
Yeah, you made it pretty long this time.
This year I made it to the final 2 tables. I think I was down to the last 12.
I think it was 12.
Yeah, last 12. And but I knew I needed to get onto this broadcast, so I just kind of went.
That's
all
why.
in.
That's why.
It wasn't because I was.
You weren't bad.
No, I wasn't
like,
bad.
I gotta help out.
I just have to help out.
Very nice of you.
I appreciate that. I'm really hoping that Pudge will do very well and win this tournament.
I think he actually said to me, even a blind squirrel finds a nut. And I was like, that for you, Pudge, that applies a lot of ways. That fits.
Well, and the thing was, Pudge and I were going to talk about the draft night out.
Oh, yeah.
So one of the things we wanted to talk about was the events that are going to happen here with the Fantasy Football Expo. So right now, this, like I said, is the unofficial beginning. Tonight is the quote-unquote opening night party that is going to take place. It's a great event. It's a phenomenal opportunity to meet people that, if you're a fan of fantasy football, if you're a fantasy enthusiast, but you have not met your favorite experts or analysts, this is a great time to be able to shake hands and talk fantasy with some of your people. That's last year. I mean, it was Andrew. It was like, I was in awe. I was like, Andrew,
come on. I'm a nobody too, Jeff. Let's be clear.
Okay, so I would not call you a nobody. Like I said, anyone who has seen Andrew work a room, I've seen Andrew work a room, knows he is not a nobody.
Well, I want to tell a story, actually. This is the perfect time. Last year, I was here. I was at the opening night party. I was talking with a bunch of people. It was one of those things where you could talk to somebody and turn around and have somebody else to have a great conversation with immediately, right? And you're seeing, Matt Harmon. You're seeing, I think, J.G. Zachariason was here last year. You had Bob Harris. You had, like, the name among names. Everybody you can think of that knows fantasy, right? And so I remember turning into a conversation at one point, turning around and seeing Jody Smith, who I'm a big fan of. I've loved Jody's work for a long time. He's one of the top 10 rankers on Fantasy Pros. Like, he does a great job. And so I was talking with Jody, and he mentioned how they had some trouble finding people to write for their magazine. And I was like, I would love to do that. I'd be honored. And he's like, I'll remember that. I'll look you up in a couple of months. And sure enough, he hit me up. And so had it not been for the Expo, I would not have had an article printed in the magazine. So it's just one of those things. You never know where the day is going to go. You never know who you're going to run into. You never know the conversations you're going to have. But ultimately, everybody is here to have those conversations. Nobody is here to not get said hi to. Everybody is here to say hi. Everybody here feels like we don't deserve it. We're all here to say hi to someone else. So as I always tell people, just come up, say hi. Who cares? Like, I'm just a name. I'm just a guy. I'm just a nobody. Yep. Like, you're great too, Jeff. Trust me. But like, everybody, come and meet who you want to meet. And I think that's what we're all here for, is to sit here, chat, hang out, and honestly, just to talk fantasy strategy. I just had a 30-minute long conversation with some people who are in 30 dynasty leagues, 60 dynasty leagues. We had a 30-minute long conversation about dynasty. I couldn't have done that when I was 7. So it was great. It was totally worth it.
And so as much as I joke around, I have to agree with you completely. The one thing I learned, not only with Scott Fishbowl, but also with the Fantasy Football Expo, is just how accessible everybody is in this community. It is not, I mean, there are a lot of people who have reached a certain level of accolades, notoriety, stardom, but yet everybody is so accessible. They will speak with you. They will have conversations about fantasy football. They'll have conversations about beer. They'll have conversations about poker or anything
Vacations,
else.
Vegas, what do you got?
Exactly. And it's one of the things that's really drawn me to this community. 2 years ago, I mean, I'm a fantasy nobody now. 2 years I was a nobody. And coming into this and doing the things I did with Fantasy Cares and Scott Fishbowl and doing the things, last year was my first year at Fantasy Football Expo. I just learned so much about how collaborative and how communicative and how just the fellowship.
Everybody here is so good. Everybody here wants to talk. There's nobody here that feels like they're better than anybody. I remember even like last year, I know Matt Harmon was walking around, and again, everybody knows Matt Harmon, reception, amazing, right? He's one of the bigger names in the industry, and he was here walking around, and I got to say hi to him. That's 2 years ago, I think. I just walked up and, hey, Matt, just a really big fan. He goes, oh, I really love hearing that. He was very genuine. We bumped the camera. When I moved.
Oh,
in any case,
I think I waved. Stop tracking. Shoot.
We'll just move on. Let's go.
No. There's command.
Point I'm getting at is Matt Harmon was very accessible. It was awesome. We had a great time.
I think I waved in the camera. So I have a camera that has commands, and I wasn't expecting that.
Can we scoot or is that bad?
We can scoot.
We can make it work.
Come on, scoot, but I'm going to make this camera do what it's supposed
followed
to.
you. Yeah, you're doing
Yeah,
great.
see, it's following me.
Hi, can you follow me now?
So,
Nope. All right.
Very unexpected twist.
Terrific work on the
little-
Suds.
Yeah.
This is a Suds mess up. I love it. I'm a big fan.
Anyone who knows Fantasy Now Plus knows that every episode we have an audio or visual problem,
This is the visual.
and this is the visual
I'm
problem.
glad we checked that off. That's good.
So I have to go unlock me. Okay, now move over. Track me. Unlock me. Now get over
I'm
there.
not gonna lie, that's actually really cool.
Okay. Now we're back.
Fancy.
Sorry.
All good.
Technical difficulties are part of Fantasy Now.
What you get on the Studs and
But you
Suds.
know what? That just proves that we are just human like the rest of us.
We're all nobodies. And honestly, I think that's the thing that it's a perfect time for this because nobody here is important. Nobody here is too crazy. Nobody here is too powerful. Like we're all just here to hang out. And the amount of connections you can make from this is just amazing.
Yes, I cannot disagree.
I don't know how we did that. That was amazing. You know what? Cheers, Jeff.
Yeah, cheers.
Somehow you pulled that off almost flawlessly.
So I committed to not having that many drinks before this episode.
Oh,
However, I also did not expect to go past 1 o'clock
yeah.
in this tournament. So
You did well.
So I did well. And, the biggest thing, though, one of the things I talk about in every episode, if you're going to drink, be responsible. You are the only person who's responsible for yourself when you are drinking.
Yep.
And we are responsible. We are going to be taking an Uber Lyft. We are going to be doing whatever it is for us to be responsible in this community, responsible for ourselves, and responsible for everyone that we love, which is the community at large.
Yep.
So you always have to be responsible. And I've had a few drinks, but I am not getting behind a wheel, and you shouldn't either.
Good point.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, with that said, I'm going to drink a little more.
Might as well. It's a vacation, right?
But it really is. I mean, it's one of the things. So I'm going to tell everybody right now, I'm at the Fantasy Football Expo today on August 8th. And don't use this in any kind of PII or trying to track my wife down. Today is my wife's birthday.
Oh, how nice.
Happy birthday, my wife, Michelle.
Happy birthday, Michelle.
She's not going to watch this anyway.
Well, but just it's funny.
But she was absolutely okay with me coming here because she knows how much I love fantasy football. And she jokes about it, and I joke about it, and we kid each other about her patience with my fantasy or my love of fantasy. But she supports me 100%. She's happy that I'm down here. It might be because she's happy she's away from me. I don't know. But what I know is for me, she knows it's something I love to do. It's something I'm passionate about. And after last year, I can't even imagine. You and I talked about it. Yeah. We can't imagine ever
missing seems like a bad idea. Like I can't imagine missing it. Yeah. And it's not just for content creators, like you said. Like you last year when you came, you were not a content creator. You're a fantasy note. You're still a fantasy note.
Still a fantasy note.
But the point is, like that's where this is a way. If you not only if you want to become a content creator, but if you just like the sport of fantasy football, you like the game, you can get into some great conversations with some great minds that are not content creators. This is where you can tap into some really interesting ideas and unique views of the game you can't find anywhere else. It's awesome.
And this is not just analysts and experts. Correct. I literally sat at a table, my first poker table today. I literally sat down with right around me 3 fans of the game. They were not analysts, they were not contributors, they were not experts. They were fans. One came from California, one came from Philadelphia. The other one, I cannot recall. It was from a distance. And they were here because they wanted to experience this. So if you have an opportunity, and you have to do this kind of early, hotel rooms fill up quick, as everybody knows.
Well, the good ones do.
Yeah, the good ones do. But there's Airbnb, there's VRBO or Verbo, however it's I still don't know how you actually say it. Is it Verbo?
I think it's Verbo. That's what I call it.
We'll go with Verbo. But you have to come here. If you love fantasy football and you follow experts or you follow contributors and you want to meet them, Andrew couldn't say it any better. Everybody is so open.
We're equal here. We're all the same playing field. It's great. Crazy. The group I was talking to was from Oklahoma. 2 guys and their wives made a long weekend out of this. They drove up. I think they drove up yesterday, Thursday. Yeah, so yesterday. And then, made it to the hotel and woke up this morning and they're planning on going to the Hall of Fame tomorrow. They're making a whole weekend out of it. Yeah. And it's just, they're in their 50s like ourselves. Like they're just making a fun time out of it. They're just players. They love it.
So a little bit about the Expo. As far as events are concerned, obviously, this is the unofficial start when it came to the poker tournament. Tomorrow, on Saturday, there is the Kings Classic, the Queens Classic, as well as other tournaments, fantasy draft leagues that are going to take place tomorrow, the draft night out. My co-host Pudge last year, he and I got into the Lawrence Taylor IDP draft night out. He won that division. Wow. He was going to present his ring. He has it with him, but hey, we'll do it next time we see him. But and I was in that division. I was doing really well the first few weeks, and I fell off a cliff after injuries. But he took home the ring for that division, and there's a lot of fun opportunities if you love to draft on Saturday. The Kings Classic is obviously the best of the best in the industry that are participating in that. Queens Classic is the best of the women who are in fantasy doing that. I really wanted to talk to Amber Phillips on this show because she was going to talk about the Queen's Ransom, her league, the league that she's in with heavy hitters, the women who are heavy hitters in this industry, as well as others who are participating in other. There's IDP, Kings Classic, and then there's a college football. And then there's this year, for the first year, there's fans Classic. Yeah. Why don't you tell us?
I only know a little bit about it, but I know that the idea was that certain Kings Classic members, I guess you could call it, nominated specific fans that they wanted to have in a fans version of the league. So I know that there are some Fans Classic qualifiers that you can get into. I think that's closed now. But the idea was to have those all filled up and drafting over this weekend. And again, the whole point is to just have drafts to talk about, right? Just have something content-wise that's going on that you can kind of bring up. But the Fans Classic is a new one. I think that's going to be a really fun idea to see how that grows. I don't think it's going to be quite like a Scott Fishbowl size. I don't think it's going to get there. But just even to have 2 or 3 leagues of fans to try to compete against the Kings Classic guys, I think that's a really fun idea. So I'm excited to see where that goes.
I like that because they sold tickets to get in to observe these drafts, but to actually engage fans to be involved in this for the opportunity to sit alongside of their favorite analysts to watch them draft next year, I thought it was a phenomenal idea.
Yeah,
so I'm really
I can do
looking
better
forward
than that guy. We'll prove it. Right? Let's get in the league
yeah.
and see it. I think that's where the medal meets the road. And again, as you said earlier, too, injuries happen and all this, but just the chance to draft is awesome. Like just to get in the room and draft with some of these guys is awesome. So yeah, it's a great idea.
I agree. And so I think that's one of the things that's really great about Saturday, the draft night out. Like I said, there's numerous leagues that are involved there.
That and the whole it's between fantasy. Is that what they do? IBT.
Yeah, IBT.
Yep. They do a great job putting that on. I know that I was there the first year they did it. I was part of that league. Terrific coordination. They did an amazing job. I've only heard great things since.
So what was really interesting last year is Pudge and I, we were not in any of the draft night out leagues. We showed up at noon or whatever time it was yet last year, and we were able to get into the IDP, the Lawrence Taylor IDP division. We were glad that we did. This year we jumped on it early, and we're in the Patrick, not Patrick Stewart. Patrick Stewart is the
Studs, everybody, not Patrick Stewart. No,
not Patrick Stewart.
that would be actually
that would be
cool. Patrick
that would,
Stewart was a fantasy football player. I was like Patrick Surtain was coming on that.
Star Trek Next Generation style league.
Engage.
Patrick Willis.
Oh, there you go.
Patrick Willis division. Yes.
Similarly
Cheers.
awesome.
Cheers.
Similarly awesome.
Cheers.
Patrick. Yeah, you're doing great.
But we're in that division. We're going to be drafting. We tried to get a couple people that we met from Cincinnati. We'll talk about that in a minute. To join. One of them did join that IDP division. So we're looking forward to that draft tomorrow. In addition to that, there are parties that are going on. Tonight is the opening gala.
Wait a minute, it's not that official. It's not fancy. It's just a party in a park. It's a really interesting way to like mingle and like you said before, just get to know some people. It's a really casual thing. But there's a cornhole tournament going on. They'll have something on the big screen, I'm sure. Probably football because I think it's preseason. But it's just a really good time to hang out in beautiful weather. So I'm excited for the beautiful weather.
Especially tonight. But I shouldn't wear a suit and tie.
No, do not. You know what, Jeff? Yeah, wear a suit and tie. Let's see what happens with it. I thought it was a gala, you know?
Well, I mean, you said it was not that.
It's not that fancy.
Okay, fine.
You're welcome to.
Yeah. If you show up there, if you are downtown Centennial Plaza in downtown Canton, you do not need to wear a suit and tie.
You do need a wristband. I don't know which one is which.
Yeah.
But you don't have yours.
We have not checked in.
Yeah, you'll because we're not there yet. But that is a good spot for a lot of people to come through and hang out. I know that a couple of years ago, at least, it's in a park, so it's kind of you don't have to have a wristband, right? You're supposed to, but there are definitely ways that you can kind of mingle through. It's not all you can drink or anything. It's just entrance to the park, and then you can buy drinks there. So again, it is if you're in the area, if you're not sure if you should go, I just say go and see what happens. It's a great time.
And if you've never been to Canton, it's a really cool round, I guess you want to call it. I don't know how.
It's like diamond, like baseball diamond shaped almost.
Yeah. It's like the old Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. But it's and the other interesting thing is there's going to be a cornhole tournament that's going to be going on. Pudge and I talked about entering it, and then we realized we both really, quite frankly, suck at cornhole, so we didn't get into that. But it's a great opportunity. We talked to a lot of people last year, and like I said, we were newbies. Pudge and I were newbies to this, so the opportunity for us to engage with others in the community. And again, we'll say it time and time again. What Andrew said is everybody's accessible. Everybody is willing to speak.
We want to talk. That's the whole reason. Yeah.
And it builds this community, and we want more people in the fantasy community, and this event really does that. So that's the party on Friday night, and then Saturday night after the draft night out and the Kings Classic, Queens Classic, and the other tournaments. Then there is the I don't know exactly how they label it, but it's the Saturday night party that takes place this year. Last year it was at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. This year it's going to be at Jersey's, literally next door from where we're coming to right now.
Just Saturday night party. Friday night party, Saturday night party.
Okay, it's called the Saturday night party.
That's right. Very
so and it's on. I'm going to assume Saturday night.
Nailed it, Jeff. You nailed it. That's it. I don't know how you did it.
I don't know.
Good.
So, and that's a great opportunity once again for everybody to just come together and talk. And then we're going to lead into Sunday, which is the heart of the expo, which is the actual exposition items, which is going to include all of the exhibitors, which include the vendors and other contributors and analyst sites, along with panels and other discussion forums that are going to be going on. There's some incredible ones. Amber Phillips is going to talk about, I've forgotten the name already, but it was the
women at the unwind, or was it something else?
Nope, that was it. Women in fantasy football. Amber Phillips is one of 8 or 10 panelists who are going to be involved in that panel discussion group. I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
One thing Pudge and I went to last year, we're going to do again this year, is the IDP group. He and I are huge IDP fans, so we're going to do that. We were actually talking to why am I so bad at names?
Gary Davenport.
Gary.
Yeah. Gary's amazing.
You know what?
Really.
You're good at names.
So good.
I'm horrible.
I'm glad I'm here.
I'm terrible. I'm terrible.
You're doing great.
Terrible. I'm terrible. But we were talking to Gary earlier today, and we were talking about IDP Debbie. And even he admitted it's a bad idea.
That's rough.
So I had someone who tried to get me into an IDP Debbie, and I said no. I couldn't.
It's too far. It feels like.
So how much do you know about college football?
I know some. I'm in the C2C league, the campus to Canton league.
You do a C2C.
It's a best ball on the campus side, which is great for me because I don't have to make any lineups. But it is a like a feeder league, right? So, but there are scores and there is a payout to whoever wins the college side, which is really fun. But then obviously you get to keep all of those players on your football side. But it makes the drafts. I was just talking about this. It makes the drafts really fun. We're in our college draft right now. We're in the 10th round of our college draft, which again, a lot of the players are already taken. So the guys that I'm taking, I've never heard of them in my life. I'm just like, oh, that guy plays quarterback for Arizona State. Let's take that guy. I don't know. I have no clue. It's like I would say it's like when you play Madden franchise mode for too long. You know, all the names just become kind of like made up. It's fine.
Hey, speaking of Madden, I understand you just played Madden 26.
I did. I got it. I got the early release on Thursday. I played it a little before coming here. I had to. It's pretty good. I'm a fan. I like the upgrades. I think it's a slick look. The loading screens were good, which I was a little concerned about being on the first day. It looked pretty solid. I'm very excited.
All right, you Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
PS5 then.
Yes.
All right. We need to play.
That would be great.
Well, first of all, I need to buy and download
I need to learn how to get good at it first.
Okay, what mode do you play in?
I used to play in All Pro. Yeah, I played back in the day. And then I think I played in Madden for a while. I get up to Madden, but I'm out of practice. I think I'm back in All Pro, not expert.
Okay. What I've learned is, starting last year, I don't know what AI crap they put into this game, but I cannot play All Pro. I don't even know how anybody plays Madden level. I mean, any of you who play, you are.
I feel like it's gotten harder.
Wait. Oh, I waved again.
Oh, good. But wait, unlock me.
Unlock me.
And then come over here.
Track me. Track me.
Dude, unlock again.
Unlock me. How do you know the commands and I don't?
You've had some suds, Jeff. We're on it. We're good. With tech support live here on the Suds and Suds. We got this.
This is the worst episode. Maybe the worst or best episode.
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, because Andrew Hall's here.
And Pudge is. Hey-o! He's not here to defend himself, so he'll see it later.
That's what you get for winning, Pudge.
That's right. Good job, you jerk.
But so last year I downloaded the Madden 25, and I started playing All Pro. I've always played All Pro.
Yeah.
And then I realized it knows what the hell I'm thinking.
Yeah.
It's like how is it the first quarter I can get away with shit?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, stuff. And after that, I can't do it. It's got a learning mode, and I read a little bit about this, and Madden experts probably know all about this, but it actually starts to understand the plays you
Learn
call,
your
the
play
things you
strategy.
like to do, the play strategy, and I can't do it anymore.
It's terrifying.
So it's funny, Cincinnati Bengals. Last night, I actually played the Lions versus the Bengals at Ford Field, a night game, and I was up 14-0 after the first quarter. I lost 48-21
Oh, that sounds about right. Yeah.
because of
Bengals.
the mode or because of the Bengals.
Could
So-
be the boat, too.
So let's talk about the Bengals defense because we know how much.
Okay, I have opinions. I have opinions on the Bengals. I know a lot of people, especially anybody who watched football last year, right? Especially Bengals fans, even if you weren't, you saw what I would consider to be one of, if not the worst defense rolled out week after week. There were some defensive coordinator changes. We lost Lou Anarumo. I guess you want to say he moved on. He's in Tennessee, I think now. With the Callahan. That was kind of an interesting fit. And even if he's not, it doesn't really matter. We got rid of Lou Anarumo. We added Al Golden, who was from Notre Dame. I think that the coaching change is going to matter a lot. I think our talent was pretty good. Our game planning, at least the first half of the season, was not that great. We had no answer to whatever they had coming. So I think this year what I'm excited to see what Al Golden can do with that same talent and build a different defense with the same chess pieces. And from what I've seen and the reports that I've read and everything else, and then a little bit of tape I've seen, even the preseason game last night looked pretty good for the first string. I think there's a lot of hope for our defense because honestly, it can't get much worse. So my thought process is even if we're a little better and instead of being bottom 5, we're mediocre, Super Bowl. Oh, here comes Justin with a good question too. I agree. Okay, Bengals D doesn't need to play well at all with that offense.
Well, I agree. And Justin may know this. My bold prediction,
There's an in and out. Thank you.
for this year is that Joe Burrow will break Peyton Manning's passing yardage and touchdown records. Both. Wow. That's my bold prediction.
From your mouth to God's ears. That sounds amazing. I would love that. I think there's a better
And they'll still finish 9-8.
I was gonna say, I think there's a better chance he breaks the touchdown record and they lose in the first round of the playoffs. That just feels like how it's gonna go. So yeah.
Justin, Burrow's throwing 6,000 yards this year.
Again, Justin, from your fingers to God's ears on that one. That would be amazing.
I don't know about 60 touchdowns, but okay.
I mean, I'll take it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Speaking of which, so why did Burrow and Chase play so much last night?
Well, okay, so hang on. The last 5 years, the Bengals have notoriously rested their starters in the preseason.
Yep.
And over those 5 years, I think the record I saw was they're 1-11 in the first 2 games for those 5 years. And so in Cincinnati, we have this thing where the Bengals don't play their starters at all in the preseason, and they use the first 2 or 3 games as their preseason to knock the rest off. And last year's a prime example. Had we won just one of those games that we should have won early in the season, we wouldn't have had the issues at the end of the year. We would have made the playoffs. Yep. So I think this year Zach Taylor is taking it to heart, partially I think because he has to, because that leash is getting shorter. And they said they're going to play the starters, the first team offense for the entire first quarter. There's only 3 preseason games too, right? So let's keep
Agree.
So I think it's a good idea to get them on the field and to get some of that rust knocked off. If you watched the game last night, Chase had a great 8-yard pass. He took him for a touchdown from 30 yards out, right? Amazing. That's what we want to see. Now, granted, we don't know if we're playing the first team defense, which is always the question mark in preseason, but they look sharp. And that's what we need to see the next couple games is keep the momentum going so that when we get to week 1, all the rust is off and they can turn on the Jets. At the Browns, we need it. We cannot take a loss to the Browns game week 1.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I thought Chase looked really bad yesterday.
No, you didn't.
He did.
He did.
No. That one move he made on the one play. Oh, wow. On the sideline,
Only
that
Chase
was
can make that kind of thing.
That was great. The other thing I was telling Pudge is a lot of times, especially with 3 preseason games, and I want to see what the Lions do tonight, but playing your starters in the second preseason game, I think is smarter because if you have any minor injuries, you have 3 weeks to heal.
Yep.
Versus 2 weeks. And that one extra week is a huge deal.
Especially for something small like an ankle injury or a quad tweak or whatever. Yeah, there's a lot of help that you can get back.
I agree there. So I want to ask you about a player from Indianapolis named Tyler Warren. Ooh. I want to know what you feel about Tyler Warren because someone who is watching us right now is a huge Tyler Warren fan. He's a huge Colts fan.
Okay.
But he's definitely a huge. There you go.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just start with this. I understand the love of Tyler Warren, but I am much more hesitant and I'm much more nervous than a lot of the other folks. Rookie tight ends rarely hit. It's just not a thing that we see very often. Even those that do don't maintain, don't sustain that kind of thing, especially through their season, but even after.
Yep.
I would love to see a Tyler Warren hit. I would like, Justin, especially for you, I would love to see that, right? I am not sold on it. I am fine passing on the risk and taking someone, honestly, later who might be riskier, like a Kyle Pitts or a Mark Andrews, like someone who you think you can get, a regular value as a sense for what the market is, and I think they're going to be just fine. You're going to be big bust boom with Tyler Warren, and I'm worried that the chances of it busting is higher than the chances of it booming. And for me, especially tight end, I want somebody I can plug in there and not worry about, and Tyler Warren I worry about.
Well, I think we've become accustomed to the outliers like the Laportas and the Pitts and the Bowers who have such phenomenal first seasons, which was contrarian to the way tight ends. It was always 3 years, 3 years, 3 years.
Yep.
And then we had some of these ones who just hit immediately. And what we don't recognize, we may, is that the second year there's always a step back.
Yep.
There's always a step back. And I think most rookie tight ends don't live up to the potential or the hype that they're doing. So, Tyler Warren, I get what Justin's saying.
Well,
I don't know.
On the flip side, Tyler Warren does have the chance to be a top 2 target on that team, right?
Oh,
you've got Michael Pittman, you've got Josh Downs, you got Adonai Mitchell. Like, you got some good options. Jonathan Taylor out of the backfield. The thing I worry about, too, though, with Tyler Warren, while he might be a top 2 target getter, there might be targets from Daniel Jones. I'm not. Anthony Richardson got hurt a little bit last night. I don't think we know exactly how bad.
Finger issue, they said.
Those things can linger, but also he wasn't necessarily a stud locked in line up QB1 kind of spot, right? So my thing, again, with the whole thing is not necessarily that he can't do it. It's just I'm fine letting guys like Justin take Tyler Warren and me get somebody else and take a risk elsewhere on my roster. Tight ends are just too fluky for me. I don't want to risk that.
Well, and Warren's going a lot earlier than tight ends like Arroyo. Arroyo looked good last night in his preseason game. And Bannon looked good.
Yeah.
And I think there's tight ends. I understand we want to get hyped on tight ends, especially
if you don't get one of the big guys like Trey McBride, Ruck Bowers. If you're missing out on the top, I always try to say if you're not getting one of the top 6 or 7 tight ends in your rankings, whatever, I just take 2 of the later ones. I'd rather have 12 and 13 than 7.
Agreed.
I'd much rather take a flyer or 2 flyers on those later picks and take other value at your flex and receiver spots or whatever, and just play tight end as a punt and just get there later.
Can't disagree with that. So how did you feel? So let's. I don't know where we are in time. We're only in 38 minutes. So you're good in time.
Yeah.
Okay. Talk a little bit about Scott Fishbowl and your experience. You didn't draft in Cincinnati. I know the year before you did.
Last 3 years I did.
Last 3 years you
did.
It was
3 years. Yeah.
And then you decided to draft in Michigan. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yep.
How did you feel about Scott Fishbowl this year? Not only your experience in Cincinnati at Bowling Warehouse and in Cincinnati and the 10 divisions that were going on there and the heat that was going on that day. But then 3 weekends later, 4 weeks, I don't know how long it was.
Yeah, 4 weekends.
4 weekends later, coming to Michigan, coming to Detroit, and drafting there. So why don't we start with Cincinnati?
Well, so I drafted in Canton in 12, Scott Fishbowl 12.
Okay.
And then I was 2 years in Cincinnati. This is my 3rd year attending Cincinnati. And like you said, I didn't draft. I will say John Bush does a hell of a job putting on the show. That is 10 leagues is not nothing. That is a lot of work.
Yep.
We had a lot of great food provided by Chris Allen and Wyatt Bertolone. They did a great job cooking for the whole house. It was hot. It was a very hot day in June. We had one of those, where's the air conditioner kind of moments. There was some air blowing around, but not on everybody. But it was a great event. There were a lot of good people there that drove in. A lot of people that won good raffle prizes. I know for a sake. I wasn't there to draft. I was like, I'm just here to hang out. I bought some raffle tickets. I ended up winning a 6-case of beer prize pack from Sam Adams, which was awesome. So that was great. And the raffles were amazing. There was a lot to raffle on. And again, it was just a really well done event. I love the fouling. I say fouling. I don't know if it's fouling or bowling, but It's bowling with a football, so it should be bowling. But either way, that place was awesome, right? So football bowling is a great combination. I've played it before. It is a lot harder than it looks, but it was awesome to not draft and be able to kind of play with that and like walk around and talk to everybody else that was drafting and kind of just poke their brains and get some food and all this. Like it was such a fun event. And I've said it to a lot of people too. Like even if you're not in the Scott Fish Bowl, you don't have to be in the Scott Fish Bowl to go.
Oh,
Cincinnati's a prime example. With there being 10 drafts of 12 each, there was 120 drafters. I think there were 30 or 40 of us that were just there hanging out.
Yeah.
That means there's 150 people in this room for 4 hours, all talking fantasy football in June. Like, get out of here. That's a dream. That's amazing. So I had a great time.
That's what I love about Cincinnati. I drafted the first time last year in Cincinnati at Voodoo.
Yeah.
And I know we had six divisions then, 72 drafters. Yeah, I know there were over 100 people in that building. Yeah. And there were so many people talking and analyzing picks and talking fantasy and just talking, even talking beer, talking food. Yeah. Yeah. And it was a phenomenal experience. So going to Cincinnati this year at Bowling Warehouse, the football bowling place, it was incredible because, like you just said, not only were there 120 drafters, but there were so many other people. And I got the opportunity to speak with a lot of people. And I was actually upset because I felt like I didn't talk to enough people.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's like you can only talk to so many people.
I had that same thought. I wasn't even drafting at the same time. When it was time to leave, I was like, I didn't even get to say hi to someone. You know, I said hi, that was it.
Yeah.
But there's so many good people in that room, a lot of good people in that area. So it's just, I'll see you next year. Right?
Yeah.
That's pretty much how it goes. But I was honored to get to go to Michigan too. That was a great time.
Well, I appreciate that. And I've spoken about this on a couple episodes. I was able to coordinate the Michigan Live for Scott Fish Bowl the last 2 years. This year was in Detroit, and Andrew was a drafter this year. And this year we had 4 divisions in Michigan. We hope to have more next year. We already have a location locked down. We already have a date locked down, but it was really nice to have you there and others who are in the industry. The year before, I only had like 1 or 2 in the industry. This year, we had more people. So it allowed a lot more engagement between industry people and those who are fans.
Oh, I'll tell you
which is what it's all about.
Fans there are top notch. You guys had a really good group of Michiganders who just knew what they were talking about. It was a lot of diehard Lions fans, a lot of diehard fantasy fans, and you guys definitely know what you're doing up there in the great Michigan mitten, right? You guys know what you're up to.
I don't know.
Either way. But it was awesome. Yeah, it was a lot of good, intelligent people, a lot of great conversations. I know the drafts went by before you even knew it. I mean, we stopped, we took breaks, we only drafted 10 rounds. But I think was started on Saturday, right? And I think our draft was finished by Tuesday. Like
yours was done early.
We're in the Detroit Lions draft. We just went at it. We just could not stop. Once we were done, we just kept going.
Yeah.
But it was great. We had so much fun. And I talked to you about this too. There were a lot of different events that you put on between, keeping things moving. I'm excited to see what you do with it next year. And I think the venue you're going to is bigger than this one too, right?
It is. We're going to go to a venue that can accommodate more divisions. And speaking with Fantasy Cares individuals, we believe we can grow this event just like any of the live events across the country or across the globe. We believe we can continue to grow and include more drafters. Michigan is definitely going to be one of those locations. And so the venue that we had this year in Scott Fish Bowl 15 was incredible.
Hopcat's amazing.
I love Hopcat. Yeah. Hopcat has locations. They're a Michigan organization originated out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. They have places in all over Michigan, plus I think 3 or 4 other states. And they were so hospitable. I can't even tell you. The problem is their location can only accommodate so much. I don't think we can go. I don't think we can grow.
That's kind of what I was saying. Like, I was just saying because I think 4 filled that serious room pretty good. I think 4 was a good amount. 5 would have been too much. 4 was a good amount. So I think that worked out well. I think it was small enough so that you could talk to everybody. I got to mingle with all the other drafts.
Yep.
We got to. It wasn't a problem getting beers and drinks and food and whatever. Like it was all great. But yeah, if it's going to grow, I don't think it can grow there. Yeah. Just because the same with Voodoo last year at Cincinnati.
Exactly.
We just built that whole place, so we had to go bigger. That's a good problem to have. That's the way you want to be.
It is. And so we have a person who drafted in Michigan alive. He was in your division, John.
Oh,
and so he's affiliated with the venue that we're going to secure for.
I don't know if you want to
Expo
announce that.
16.
Yeah, no, if it was official, if you want to be announced. Like, not yet, maybe. I don't know.
It is
99%.
Yeah, I won't mention the location yet. All I'll say is that we are working through final negotiations of getting this event locked down. This can accommodate double the number of divisions we had now.
It's not as big as Fowling, but it could. He was saying it could easily hold 10 drafts.
Yes, yeah.
And that's where John did the same thing in Cincinnati. You want to go somewhere where you can grow.
Yep.
You don't want to have to change it every year. So I think that's a great idea. You can lock that down for this year and see if you can get from 6 to 7 to 8 or 5 from 4 to 6. That's the way to go.
And by the way, if you've never been involved in Scott Fish Bowl and you want to be, go to scottfishbowl.com and there's a lot of information on there. If you want to apply for Scott Fish Bowl 16, which is next year, it is open now. So go to scottfishbowl.com/apply.
You can't get in if you don't apply.
.php.
Yep.
You can sign up, but you cannot get in if you do not apply. Apply now and wait for the invite. The invite will be next year. But if you are interested, the only way you get a chance to get in is to apply. And that is what you want to do right now. You hear a lot of sounds probably back there because there's still a poker tournament going on. There's a lot of
Somebody
people
just had a
excited.
big hand at it. They're very excited.
And I don't know if that's.
I don't know if it was Pudge or not. Yeah.
Pudge or not. So.
I don't see him. That's a good sign.
Although, I mean, I'm not going to tell Pudge this. You and I kind of have a.
We got a pretty good
thing going on right now. Yeah, I like
Pudge
it.
might have a little bit of
Competition. Well, except for the fact that. So, what are you doing these days?
So I'm writing for Fantasy Pros, guesting on podcasts here and there. I'm thinking about starting a new podcast with a buddy of mine who's not an industry person, not a creator at all, and just doing a really lighthearted, pros and Joes kind of thing. I feel like the podcasting game was great. I had a great time on Dynasty Junkies. We decided to kind of shut that down. Life just got too busy. But I'm just kind of keeping my options open. And again, this is the perfect weekend to see what's out there. So I'm not a free agent per se, but eyes are always open. Let's see what's going on.
Well, I have to give you credit because you are the first person that invited me to a show. So I got my first opportunity. Yeah, I did.
The referees league. That was a great idea.
And and what's really funny is I still have referees. I started to write that book, but then just recently, who was it? Somebody just recently.
Kevin Murray, I think. He
just.
the book.
Yeah. And I haven't read the book.
I know,
but it's
I've heard it's great. I want to read it.
It's like, okay, I want to read it. Did I miss my opportunity? Or can I do another slant on that?
Yeah, and take it a couple years,
Yeah.
which is perfect because you're not ready to release it now anyway.
No.
So give it a couple of years. Maybe you can have like an addendum. Maybe there's a way that you could even tie into that and bring it as a second edition. Yeah, you could talk to Kevin tonight or tomorrow and see what the options are.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, but I want to thank you and express my appreciation because that was my first time ever on a podcast with you and your partner. I can't remember.
It was Rocky, wasn't it?
It was Rocky. Rocky, yeah.
And I remember that was from Scott Fishbowl because we were hanging out talking about fantasy.
Yeah.
Come on our podcast. You're like,
exactly.
Yeah. You could.
Yep.
And then look at what's happened now. Look at where we've been.
Well, and then I joined I was a guest on a few other podcasts, and now we're on here, and we have our 3.5 viewers. And
you're doing great.
Viewers, but I just love doing this. I love talking. Andrew, we always got room for you at Fantasy Now Plus.
Hey, I'm open ears.
Hey, push it. I will. Hey, I already have a show with Pudge. I will do a second show with this guy.
Oh my God,
Justin, you lean on this guy.
It'd be fun to be a guest here and there on your show. I could see that being a frequent thing. That would be fun. We'll see what we can do. We'll talk about it offline. But I'm interested.
Okay, you heard him. He's going to be a guest
on camera now.
Yep,
we're good.
All right, so unlike all of our other episodes, we might really end early.
Of all the shows, this is it's getting kind of ruckus, and I kind of want to go see if Pudge is winning.
I do too.
He's not over here yet, which makes me think he's still in it, which is pretty impressive and a little terrifying because they must all be terrible if he's winning.
Yeah.
You know what
I want to hear you say that. Before we go, the last thing I want to say is I have heard some rumor on Discord that the Fantasy Football Expo next year, starting next year, will actually be held the last weekend of July.
I've heard those rumors too,
rather than August. I've heard, I don't know the exact reason why, but I have read other people's opinions on Discord that they would love that because I don't want to name names. Some people that we know who are very much into this industry who said it would allow them to escape their parental duties over returning to school and other reasons.
Well, there's just a lot going on. For those of us that create content, August is kind of when it hits the heaviest, right? There's a lot of articles, a lot of drafts. You're in a lot of charity leagues. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And I know in the past I've talked to Bob about this too. And I think that there is a little bit of a limit to how much you can grow this in August. And I think with the Hall of Fame game, it's always kind of nice to have the Hall of Fame game and then coming in like a week ago. Everybody gets to see the Hall of Fame stadium and all that. We're going to be there tomorrow. It's going to be really cool. But having it on the other side of that might be even better to kind of entice people to come in and stay maybe for that Hall of Fame. Like that could be kind of fun. So I've heard rumors. I haven't heard anything official, but I've heard the same. And it seems like that might be a good fit.
For me personally, rolling that up right after Scott Fishbowl drafts, something like that, I know my wife would like. Yeah,
my wife would love it.
She would love that too. So, Andrew, where do people find you?
Well, right now you can find me on X and Blue Sky, Andrew Hall FF. I know I'm writing articles for Fantasy Pros still, just a couple of months at this point. I'm usually involved in a lot of those multiple expert articles where they have to get everybody's opinions. I love that. I am in the Discord. I always tell people if you really want my opinion, tag me because there's so many things going on in Discord. My DMs are always open. My Discord chat is always open. Like none of that is hidden. All of that is free. You don't have to do anything. Just send me a message. If you got questions about a trade or a league or whatever, I'm open to try to help out. I mean, anytime I can talk about fantasy instead of real life is a good day. So please hit me up. That's the goal. I know you have. We talked.
There's no doubt that I love talking with Andrew about fantasy football and beer and until we talk about.
I'm working to catch up to you on Untapped. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there.
Good luck.
It's going to take a number of years.
I might have to just.
I think you won Untapped. I think
I have to die.
Yeah. Don't say that.
No. Yeah, we won't say that.
Or just stop drinking, which is also the same. Yeah. Cheers. Yeah. Can't do that. Yeah. Anyway,
I want to thank everyone out there for listening, and I want to thank everyone for being patient. If you actually stuck around and watched this, which I already know you didn't, I thank you. But I know you're going to follow us on. Jamie! Hey!
Oh, Jamie Pirog. I love Jamie.
Jamie follows us on every episode.
I love it.
Thank you, Jamie. I didn't know you were following us. If you were there this whole time, I am so thankful you were here and that you were patient enough for us to join the show. But yes, thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us on this live broadcast. Our next episode will be Friday, August 15 at 3 p.m. Eastern and 12 noon Pacific. Catch up on episodes of Fantasy Studs and Suds. Sorry, I'm going to read this. I apologize. I've had some suds. Catch up on episodes of Fantasy Studs and Suds and your other favorite Fantasy Now Plus shows here on YouTube, YouTube Music, Apple Music, and Spotify. Follow the Fins Talk Sports Network here on YouTube. Follow Fantasy Now Plus and Discord, TikTok, Blue Sky, and subscribe to this channel here on YouTube. From the Fantasy Nobody, Jeffrey Crisp, I am not next to my co-host, so I am next to
Andrew Hall,
the greater option, Andrew Hall from Fantasy Pros.
You too kind.
Saying, be kind, be responsible, and cheers.
Can't go wrong.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe wherever you watch or listen to podcasts. We'll be back next week for more ways to win your league.